Hey friends, how's it going here? This is David Potts with Song Notes, and in this video, a little bit of a lesson, a little bit of a talk through, a little bit of just a cover here, okay? So what I did was play the fantastic song, Remember Me. This is from the movie Coco, which if you haven't seen and you like music and like guitar, I totally recommend if you like movies especially. It's great stuff, really great music in it, and this song in particular is fantastic. There's really like 3 different versions of this song on the soundtrack, played by different characters with different different vibes, so to speak. And what I just played there, the tabs I just did, are sort of an arrangement that I put together based on a lot of different versions that I watched people play on YouTube. It's also based on me listening to the soundtrack versions many times. And it's also based on like my skill level. And what I mean by that is there's some definite riffs and flourishes that you hear in the actual soundtrack version of this that I just can't play with my current skill set, at least with, not without weeks and weeks of practice, which, maybe I'll come back to this song. But I really wanted to sort of put this video together in the version I just did to sort of show like, here's sort of my skill right now. And here's a version that sort of fits what I can do right now in a semi-comfortable way. I still think there are parts of this arrangement that are sort of, I'm kind of like faking my way through, if you know what I mean. Other parts I feel more comfortable with. But, I wanted to put this out there. I probably, I've been playing this last couple weeks. In reality, I'm not going to be playing this song forever. I'm probably, going to put it down and make way for some other stuff. But before I did that, I wanted to record this and get this sort of tab out there, get this video out there to show you how I did it. Now, I'm not going to really walk through and teach this right now. If you do want me to do that, please let me know. And I will take that into account and maybe do a video one day where I sort of break down everything I do in this sort of version and talk about how to practice it. But just a few high-level notes, okay? Look online. If you want to learn this song, look online, watch people's covers of it and watch people's lessons of it. Watch a lot of them. See how they do it. Keep track of the ones that, speak to you and resonate with you and that sound good to you, and just sort of use those as references. That's what I did. I made a notes file. I saved the YouTube videos that I really enjoyed. This one in particular, this one guy made a fantastic PDF fingerstyle tab. That's probably the closest reference point that I'm using to my version here. Some of the stuff he's doing, I just can't do. For example, like a lot of the versions of this will have this chord where you have your pinky on the 4th fret of the 6th string, and then you're kind of barring the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. Okay, they're doing that for like the 2nd chord in the song, right? So remember me, though I have to say goodbye, right? And I can technically play that, but it's just like, it's really hard for me. It's not comfortable to do, and there's also some flourish notes, like, hitting that note with that chord and having that down there, just kind of hard, right? So I kind of faked it and made this version up here where I'm going like, okay? Now that's like a very sort of, sneaky kind of creeping around the way that it's properly played version of it. I'm not pretending this is how it's played on the soundtrack. That's my sort of way of having that G sharp be the first note you play and blah, 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 right? So I've seen some folks use this chord for that 2nd chord of the song, for example. 4th fret, 5th fret, 6th fret, 5th fret. And this is a chord too, where I could technically play it, but like switching from a C to that chord and back to a C, really difficult for me, and it also just like the sound it gives wasn't, I don't know, it's not what I really want when I play the song fingerstyle. So that's sort of the story of that first couple measures, right? Where you go from the C to my sort of like just bastardized little finger picking pattern there to make it sort of fake my way around it, right? There's a few other things like that. I mean, that I'm sort of doing. There's a lot of times where, you know, you have the playing a low bass note and then you're sliding up to the 8th and 10th fret. Those slides I have trouble with, so I basically omitted some of those key bass notes, and especially in the last couple measures, you'll notice that the some of those characteristic bass notes are missing from my version. So again, I'm not pretending this is the the most correct version, and I'm not pretending this is, you know, sort of note for note what you hear in either of the soundtrack versions. But again, if you're watching this far, I trust you found this somewhat helpful. And again, this is not the typical style of video I do. Usually I will give very, you know, detailed lessons where I break things down very carefully. But for this one, I just wanted to be very honest and talk about how this is sort of, you know, me stretching myself into a realm of a style of play that I'm not used to. And it was fun to do that. But yeah, I'm not really sure I want to do a lesson for where I am with it just yet. But enough talk. I'm going to leave you here. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comment, you know, how you're doing, what questions you have, any challenges you have with this song. I would love to learn more of this style of music. It makes me want to buy a classical guitar with nylon strings. It makes me want to learn some other songs from this album and some other songs of this style. And I can't wait to watch the movie again. But it's going to be it for today. Check out my website, playsongnotes.com. You can find the tabs for what I played earlier in this video on the website. You can print them out, and all kinds of resources there for all my other lessons. But this has been David Potts. Thank you very much for watching. I want you to pick up that guitar and play. Have fun with it. Try new things. Learn. And, you know, it's a great thing, music and playing it. So I'll leave it at that. Have a great night. Bye-bye.